What's going on, everyone? Giant Opinions. Some breaking MLB news. The Cardinals team president has came out and said that trades are going to be made at or before the deadline. This is massive news because I think we all think of the Cardinals as a buyer at the deadline, but they've been so disappointing this season to where they're officially selling, which is breaking news. And the team president said that it can be like not as well of known players and potentially household names. So the one that comes to my mind personally is Nolan Arenado. I think he would get moved over Goldschmidt. Arenado could be in high demand because he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's an immense talent. He's picked it up ever since he had the cold April where he was really struggling. He's finally picked it up. He's still doing amazing with the glove, and his bat has been the best on the Cardinals arguably this season. So Arenado is the name to watch for. Will a team be aggressive enough to make a move to try and get Nolan Arenado? Because the Cardinals might be wanting to free up some money. No matter what happens, they're going to get a better return on Arenado than the Rockies did when the Cardinals went ahead and traded for him. So it's kind of a win-win if you look at it that way. Some other players I think could get moved are potentially Tommy Edman. He has been okay in the past. His OPS is a little bit low, but he can provide some value. Wilson Contreras is interesting. I think the Cardinals are going to move him no matter what, because this season has essentially been blamed on Wilson Contreras. If you look at what the Cardinals have said and what they've done by literally taking him away from catching for about a week, they blamed all of the rotation struggles on Contreras, which I think is personally unfair. I highly doubt he is the sole and main reason for the Cardinals' downfall, because their pitching is god-awful besides Jordan Montgomery. It is terrible. It's not all on Wilson Contreras. Now, is he underperforming with the bat? I'd say so. He's definitely having a down year, batting .240, which take it as you will. His OPS is above 700, but it's below 750, which when you're paying a guy a little bit more money like you are Contreras, you want to see that. But I think they're going to just trade him away because he's a scapegoat. The fan base has kind of turned on Contreras completely because they're blaming him too, because the team is blaming him for the problem. So, teams will be interested in Contreras too. He's still a good player. Just because it didn't work out in St. Louis doesn't mean he's bad. And catching is a position that is very hard to find someone who can hit for pop. And Wilson Contreras has power in his bat. I think he's a good defender. Now, obviously, maybe he doesn't call as good of a game as Yadier Molina, but that's unrealistic to expect anyone to. But I still don't blame all of the Cardinals' pitching struggles on Contreras, but I could see them moving him and kind of Contreras being a scapegoat. And then when he gets traded away, it'll kind of be like a relief for the fan base and say, we're on to a new chapter, and just say it didn't work out, because it hasn't worked out so far. And he's been kind of labeled as the main and only problem for the Cardinals, which is not true if I say so. But their pitching is terrible. They have some bad contracts. The one that I look at is Steven Matz. That has not worked out at all. Would someone be willing to take him on in like a salary dump? Potentially, but the Cardinals would have to throw in a prospect. But would they even want to do that? Because clearly this core isn't doing too well. I don't know. Jordan Walker's not getting traded. Paul Goldschmidt, I highly doubt will get traded either. Tyler O'Neill's interesting. He might get traded just because he had the thing early on in the year with Mari Mall. But the Cardinals, they have players that teams would be interested in. But that's the thing. They're not really household names. But the fact that the team president said household names, that automatically makes me think of Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, and maybe Wilson Contreras. I just personally don't think the Cardinals will move on from Goldschmidt, considering how good he's been for them. And I just feel, actually, maybe they could. Walker could play first, now that I think about that. I still personally think Arenado would be the guy that they would be willing to move first over him. Maybe they'll try and move Gallegos from the bullpen. He's been a major letdown. Jordan Hicks has had a really good season, all things considered. So maybe they do trade him away, honestly. Just try and get some value. Because the question is, are the Cardinals going to undergo a full rebuild? I don't know. I'm imagining more of a retooling. But with the way their rotation has pitched this season and their bullpen has imploded, I don't think it's completely out of the question that they could really do a rebuild. Because the thing is, the Cardinals had expectations. Players and fans knew that the Cardinals had a good team, at least on paper. They have guys who have contributed and showed up in the past, but this season it's just not clicking. It seems like everything is bad. I personally think Ollie Marymall's got to go. It's just not working with him. You got to cut loose. But yeah, this is breaking news. Let me know what you guys think, Cardinals fans. Who do you think is going to get traded away? What do you think of this news? I think it's appropriate to sell. If the Cardinals were to buy, I think that's just trying to put a Band-Aid on a bigger wound. So, yeah, let me know what you think about this. And, yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.